This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, June 17th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Brandon. We got a short little segment, so let's jump right in, guys. One of America's largest lingerie retailers, Victoria's Secret, is rebranding, trying to lure women back. They're getting rid of the scantily clad angels with the giant wings in an attempt to redefine sexy. They'll be replaced with women famous for their achievements like Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, and Megan Rapinoe. They'll be taking a diverse group of women, including a South Sudanese and Australian model and a freestyle skier, a Brazilian transgender model, a plus-size model, and a journalist. The women from what they're calling the VS collection. That's the new brand. So will this rebranding work? And I didn't even know Victoria's Secret was on the outs. Is there?
I think for a few years now, a lot of people have been speaking up saying that they don't feel as though the whole Victoria's Secret and the Victoria's Secret angel is relatable
or inclusive.
It doesn't make them feel good about themselves. And I think, you know, we've seen other brands come forward, like Rihanna with Fenty, and she has a lingerie line, and she was very diverse and very inclusive. And I think a lot of people, when they saw that, were like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we want to see. We want to see a mixture of all races, all body shapes, all like pregnant women even on the runway, like modeling different like maternity ranges, things that we've not seen for a long time. So I think Victoria's Secret has got a lot of work to do to prove, you know, that the products are going to match up as well, because the products, I think, people also think are very overly priced. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting, because when you think about it, they define the beauty standard. Growing up, that's what we were looking at. These, let's be honest, skinny white women walking with wings, and that's what everyone thought. Because remember, I just remember that song, Oh My Baby Got Back. How does it start off? Look at her butt. It is so big. Now, every woman, like, women want curves now. You know what I'm saying? So it's beauty has been redefined. So they're trying to keep up with, you see how the different genres of women that are trying to be represented in their new campaign.
So answer, I don't know this. Do they have any plus size Victoria's Secret, or is it all for like runway models? Do they have any sort of plus size?
In store you can buy various sizes, but I think they're not.
They're talking more about their marketing?
I think specifically their marketing. So like they have the very famous Victoria's Secret runway show, right? And they have the angels that walk the show. There's no inclusivity in that. Everyone looks pretty much, they're like stick thin, maybe a B cup. I mean, that's not the standard average American cup, and like size 0 panties. I mean, you know, it just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Have you ever walked into a Sports Authority? The mannequins are like this. I'm like, who's that? They look like professional.
No, they're not. What? The mannequins look like little soccer players.
Dude, they're super intimidating. I just went in there and their guns were like this big. And I'm like, I don't look like that in a t-shirt.
So you were scared of a mannequin?
I left. I went to Victoria's Secret and got something. All right. Scott Disick continues to shower his girlfriend Amelia Hamlin with gifts.
Victoria's Secrets?
Maybe, you never know. Last weekend, Amelia turned 20. Scott, who is 38, took her out to dinner with friends and gave her a gold necklace with a diamond cross. But that's not all. Scott also bought Amelia a signed print by photographer Helmut Newton.
I love his work.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I said that right. That's how much I don't know who he is. For more than $57,000, which he paid for in cryptocurrency. Scott and Amelia have been dating only since October. $57,000 for a photograph after a couple months?
Helmut Newton is one of the most famous art and fashion photographers of all time. His work is simply fantastic. I'm a big fan.
No, I'm just saying,
you're like
my brain is the cultured athlete. I have to act cultured from time to time. No, but we're going to say what we're going to talk about. Is it too early?
Yeah.
I don't think it's too early, Jeff, because there's a saying that it ain't tricking if you got it, and the man's got it. It's not $57,000. We say it like it's like a down payment for a mortgage or something for us. $57K to him is
You've
what?
You've got to think it's what's relatable to you in your world, and like what percentage of his wealth is that, and like, you know, that probably is the same as the presents that we would give our loved ones or whatever. Not in terms of monetary value, but you give within your means, right? And at the end of the day, he's a very successful businessman. He's got cash in the bank, so I don't think he wouldn't have done it if he couldn't afford it.
Yeah. But you kind of set a bar though, like early on. Right? So that's like...
No, but I think again, but you got to look at the Kardashians. Like Kim's ring was, I don't know, however many millions of dollars. Yeah. And like when you think of like that in comparison, that's not even like it's not even 1%.
But why does it have to be in comparison? Let's do that. Like my kids are 4 years old. He drew me a picture for Father's Day.
See, that to him is like the best thing in the world.
Right, but if my wife would have bought me a $57,000 present, I would have liked that crayon scribble more than that.
But
why does it always have to equate to monetary value?
It doesn't have to, and I'm sure.
But why does it always? Why it always does?
Well, no, but maybe she's just a huge fan of that photographer, and to her, that's like something really sentimental, and he has the luxury of being able to afford it, which most people, let's be honest, wouldn't.
And it's an investment. Art appreciates.
You got me. You got me. Coming up on DBL, Matthew McConaughey is joining us. He's getting personal about his incredible memoir and fatherhood. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss it. Don't go away.
Closed captioning provided by
Becoming a new mom is often a tough time, made even tougher during the pandemic. Now it appears mental health issues for new moms are on the rise. Let's connect the dots. A new report out of Canada says mental health visits during the postpartum period were up 30% compared to before the pandemic. Reports of anxiety and depression for new moms were up 39%, and reports of substance abuse issues for the group up as well. One interesting finding in the report is good for Arkansans. It found women who lived in less populated areas reported more normal levels of mental health issues. The researchers say they think that's because COVID cases in the study area started to fall around late summer, allowing for less social distancing, more in-person school, and in-person dining. Mental health experts point out that social support can be crucial for new parents, especially new moms. The pandemic cut many people off from that social network and added to the stress of protecting a brand new baby. All this making a tough time even tougher. And that's connecting the dots.
All right. Oh, Christ. How you doing?
That was Matthew McConaughey 28 years ago playing Wooderson in Dazed and Confused. And earlier, we spoke to Matthew about his memoir, Green Lights, and his rise to fame. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome to DBL. And Matthew, I gotta ask you, how often do people say that iconic line from Dazed and Confused to you? And does it drive you just a little bit crazy or no?
It doesn't bother me because those are the very first three words I said in the summer of 1992 on the very first scene of the very first night I got to act in my life. Wow. I didn't know if that was going to be one night in the summer of 92 I got to work and go, hey, I remember that one time I got to act. That was the beginning of what turned into a career 30 years later that I love. So when people say it, it's a call back to how I began. I like it.
Beautifully said. So speaking of Dazed and Confused, is it true, I mean, I read your book, but to our viewers out there, is it true that you sort of stumbled into that role?
I would say sort of stumbled, meaning I did not wake up the morning that I met the casting director, Don Phillips, at the top of the Hyatt in Austin, Texas, which is the bar I met him at. I didn't wake up that morning thinking, tonight I know I'm going to go find the guy who's in town casting a movie. I happened to go to the right bar at the right time, introduced myself. Later on, about 3 hours later, he asked if I'd ever done any acting. I said I was in a Miller Lite commercial for like this long, and a Trisha Yearwood video for like this long. And he goes, you might be right for the part. Come to this address, pick up the script. I did. I got the part. 3 lines turned into 3 weeks' work. Some things definitely fell in front of me, and good fortune happened, and I did the best I could.
Matthew, I loved your book, Green Lights, and your honesty, your optimism, and even your vulnerability is something I truly admire as a person. Where did all that come from? Was it a culmination of all of your life experiences? But how did you get that way at such a young age?
Sure. Well, I've been keeping a diary and journal since I was 14 years old. So I finally got the courage to go get 36 years of journaling and take it away to the desert on my own and see what the hell I had. And so what was there, you know, and I decided to just be as honest and transparent as possible in things that I went through, the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, and lay it all out there. And hopefully people are seeing their stories in mine and seeing themselves in me. And we're all seeing how, hey, we're all in this big rodeo called life together trying to get our 8 seconds.
I love that.
I dig it.
Where is he, by the way? Can we ask you where you are? Are you in a trailer? Are you in a rocket ship? What is this?
Very close. This particular trailer is called the Smithsonian. I have 4 Airstreams. This is my crown jewel, and I use it as my office. We got I think a world map over here, galley on the right. So this is in my backyard. I'm in my trailer. This is my 36-foot Airstream.
That's a rodeo.
That's a good look, man. And first of all, before we go any further, this is Al here. I go by Al. Do you prefer Matt or Matthew?
Oh, we can answer that. If you read his book, you can answer that. We know. Your mom didn't want you compared to a doormat, right?
I got my first butt whooping for answering to Matt. Yeah. So I answered to Matt. No, my mom's over there on the porch.
I love her.
She's still, you know, she's still the mother. She'll come over here at 90 years old and said, "What'd you answer to? I named you Matthew for a reason, boy."
I love it. You're never famous to your mama. That's beautiful. Now, you know, my favorite rapper, without a doubt, is Jay-Z, and he has a song called "You Gotta Learn to Live with Regrets." And I wonder, did that apply to you when you took a big risk in saying no to doing romantic comedies and the big paycheck that goes with it? Now, you had a lot of success doing rom-coms, and then you won an Oscar. So is there a movie that you passed on that you now kind of regret?
Well said, Al.
Well, for the 2 years after romantic comedies, when I decided to take off from rom-coms, which I was doing very well on those, I received no offers but rom-coms. So after a while, I just quit reading them and ask my agent to just say no. I'll go back earlier in my career, though. Right after A Time to Kill, I did get offered a role in L.A. Confidential. You remember that? The late Curtis Hanson directed. Yeah. And I passed. And if there's one movie I've got in my career that I look at and I go, ooh, I'd have liked to have been in that. Yeah. It would have been L.A. Confidential.
Interesting.
Great movie.
Maybe time for a
Guy
reboot.
Pearce, very good movie.
I know. Well, we're going to continue our combo with Matthew McConaughey and learn about something he has in store just in time for Father's Day. We'll be right back.
The common cold is making a comeback, especially among kids. Let's connect the dots. First, if your kids start to feel under the weather, you should get them tested for COVID-19. If the test is negative and the symptoms are not severe, you could use your usual home remedies. To stop the spread to the rest of the family, don't forget the lessons learned over the last year. Masks help a lot. Doctors say they're only needed for face-to-face contact and for the first few days of symptoms. Also, don't forget hand washing. It can stop the spread of a lot of illnesses. The other advice is to get more air circulation. It can be tough to open windows during sweltering summer months, but fans help as well. And while it might be hard to social distance as a parent, you should avoid kisses and cuddles during those first few days of symptoms. A healthy parent is a lot more helpful to a sick kid. And that is Connecting the Dots.
We are continuing our chat with Oscar-winning actor and author Matthew McConaughey. So you write a lot about your family in Green Lights. By the way, I have my copy of the book. Love it. Your parents had a sometimes volatile relationship. They were divorced twice, married 3 times, but they did have a lot of passion for each other, a lot of love. So what's something, Matthew, from their marriage that you've tried to emulate or avoid in yours?
Oh. Well, Camilla and I don't like as rocky of a relationship as my mom and dad had. Like I said, they were divorced twice, married 3 times. I don't think we need to go through that to come out and say we did it like my mom and dad did. But that's how they communicated. You know, one thing they practice, which we try to practice in our family, is never go to bed with a grudge. No matter if you're upset with you go to bed with a kiss and a hug goodnight. whether it's the kids, whether it's me, whether it's Camilla, you don't go to bed with a grudge. We're going to hash it out right now. We're going to forgive it. We're going to forget it. And tomorrow morning, we're going to start anew. You know, it's a challenge in all relationships. What do you need to really sit down and have a long discussion on? And what do you need to just look at and go, you know what? I was in a bad mood. Forget that. Let's just move on. My mom and dad were very good at not holding grudges upon each other. And also sense of humor in their relationship and with each other was really important. And I witnessed a lot of that. I witnessed them laugh things off that instead of making a big deal of certain things, which was healthy for their relationship, which I try to maintain in mine.
Matthew, first I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. It's around the corner. You're the father of 3 beautiful children. But I got to tell you a quick story.
Yes.
Before I left this morning, I go to my kids. I have a 2- and a 4-year-old. And my wife was very impressed that we were interviewing Matthew McConaughey. My kids not so much. And I go, do you know who Matthew McConaughey is? That's Buster Moon. Now I'm the coolest dad in Colorado.
Buster.
I got to tell you that. So thanks for that. My kids love you. We love you. And but I got to get to your father, though. He did.
Now that's the only way my kids know that their dad's in the movies because of Buster Moon. They hadn't seen any of the other stuff like that.
Kids love it. Kids love it. But unfortunately, Matthew, your father passed away before you achieved success in Hollywood. How does he continue to inspire you? Because you talk so much about him in your book.
Yeah. Well, work ethic. He was a great. I miss him because he would have loved working on scripts and characters with me. He would have loved that. There's some serendipity in his passing away. He was not alive for me to see my success that I took on in the career of acting, but he lived 5 days into my first role. And I've always seen that as a really graceful timing, that my father was alive during the time that I found what would be my life's passion, during the time I found what would be more than a hobby, during the time that I found what would be a career that I would take on. So I always felt like that was very graceful, divine timing, that he lived and overlapped me finding what I wanted to do. I have conversations with him all the time, spiritually, and talk to him like he's around here. I miss him. He would have really enjoyed breaking down scripts, talking about stories, and talking story with me.
Before we go, Matthew, I have to share with you that your book has really impacted my brother-in-law, Eric Dellenbach, who's known now in the medical community as the sickest COVID patient to survive. So he's been in the hospital, Matthew, for 5 months now, recently had to get a double lung transplant because of COVID. He's having a hard time, and your book has been a huge source of motivation for him to keep going. Could you share some words of encouragement for Eric?
Beautiful, Eric. Hey, just keep living, man. I mean, we all have these circumstances, and it's not about what's fair or not about what we deserve or not. Life deals us different hands at different times, and we got 2 ways we can look at it. We can sit there and battle through and look around at our nearest loved ones around us and love them even more and let ourselves be loved by them even more. But deal with it day to day. It'll all. I got my hunch is all the hardships will make sense one day, either in this life or the next one. If we can trust in that and have hope and look immediately around at the people in the hearts that love us, and just turn up the notch on that, on letting you being able to receive that love and also being able to give it out. And that's, I think, as good as we can do.
Beautifully said.
Amen to that, brother.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Your book has, like I said.
The whole panel crying up here.
Yeah. You guys have to check out Green Lights, because let me tell you, like I said, not only has it helped me, Jeff, but also my brother-in-law. It is out now. Trust me, you got to find it on Amazon, wherever books are sold. Get yourself a copy. You can also pre-order your very own Green Lights journal. Find out all the details at greenlights.com.
Also, that audio version, Matthew, killed it. Loved it.
Matthew, we appreciate you more than you know. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day, honey.
Great talking to you. Happy Father's Day, everyone out there. Enjoy it. See you in the next one. Let's do the best we can.
Yes. Thank you, Matthew.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
That sound means it is time to verify. Think about how many times a day you hook up a device to a charger. Whether you're running at 0% or you're just topping off, all those charges add up. And if you're like me, you plug up your phone before bed and leave it charging overnight. So a viewer emailed our Verify team this question. My husband says that if you leave a device plugged into the charger after it's fully charged, it ruins the battery. Is that true? Great question. Our expert sources are PC Magazine, a longtime technology publication, and Kelly Holtz, manager of U-Break iFix in Greensboro.
Modern cell phone batteries are smart enough to know that once they reach 100%, they aren't really going to keep on charging. It is going to cause a constant trickle charge, and that's going to give off some heat, and it is going to kind of degrade the battery over time. But technically, in the long run, it's fine.
As long as you follow these expert tips. Number 1, if you wake up during the night, unplug your device to prevent constant trickle charging. Number 2, consider buying what's called a smart plug and set the schedule for the charger to turn off. Number 3, since trickle charging can generate heat, especially if your phone has a case, never put it underneath other devices or beneath your pillow. And number 4, always use what's called an OEM product, meaning apart from the original equipment manufacturer.
Samsung, Google, Apple, if it's specifically from that company and labeled as such, that's how you know it's an OEM product. Now, if you buy something from, a retailer, so such as Target or Walmart, if it's not actually stamped as that manufacturer, then it's going to be a non-OEM product. Non-OEM products are not going to be rated to the same specification as an OEM charger.
In conclusion, we verified, yes, it's true. Leaving your device charging after it's fully charged can degrade your battery over time. But Holtz said it'll typically take 2 years to do that. So don't worry if you fall asleep with your phone charging. 2 more points, she stressed. Let your battery get down to 20 to 30%, but not to 0 before you recharge. And if your battery isn't working properly or it's overheating, take it to a professional to have it serviced.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for some sweet, sweet deals because earlier I showed Tori some amazing products at even better prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
Okay, what do you have for us today, Steph? I'm super excited.
Hey, Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals for you guys. So first up, I've got something that will help you look and feel your best. It's the Brookstone Ladies Electric Wet or Dry Shaver and Precision Trimmer Set. Because it's so lightweight, you can take this anywhere.
Yes.
So normally it's as much as $60, but we've got it for only $24, saving our viewers 60%.
So you're shaving off the savings, is that what you're saying?
Oh, I love it, Tori.
Boom, love it.
Next up, I have the perfect item to help you jam out, whether you're at the gym or out and about on the go. It's the JBL Tune True wireless earbud headphones. They seamlessly connect you to your music and calls by pairing with your device. Normally, Tori, these are $100.
I was gonna say, this electronics tech, they're always pricey.
Okay, we've got them for only $49, saving up to 51%. Now we are starting to host guests in our home again. And this Lennox Archdale 7-piece carbon serve set will help you do just that. And the stainless steel construction is high quality, it retains its shine for years to come, and the best bit, the dishwasher set.
Yes!
Yeah, so normally they're as much as $150 for this set. It's pricey, but we've got it for only $29, saves our viewers 81%. Last but not least, Tori, I have something that will give your face the royal treatment that it deserves. It's the 24-pack Spa Life Eyes and Lips Collagen Mask Set. So you can pamper yourself while hydrating under your eyes and lips with this deal. Normally it's as much as $40, but we've got it for only $15, saving our viewers 63%.
But head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Steph.
Sweet deal. Steph, how do you put down like those eye? Does the fat part
Yeah,
go
the
over
fat
here?
bit goes here, although I think it should go there because this is technically the smallest part of your eye.
That's how I've put them
But on the instructions, it says it goes there.
Really?
Yeah.
You wear those?
I had them backwards.
You wear those?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And you're scared of the mannequins at Sports Authority?
Yeah, see, I'm more, if they were wearing eye patches, they'd be more inviting.
And the other day you were talking about eating those fancy peppers. Who are you, man? Who are you? Okay, we got comments.
I'm grown up Big Jeff.
We've got some amazing comments. People are writing on in. So about expensive gifts with obviously the Scott Disick story.
Yep.
So Brandy, I had a better job than my boyfriend and I got him an Omega watch after 2 months of dating. Ever since then, I've been known as Big Mama.
Ooh, is Omega expensive?
Yeah.
See, I guess I'm not as fancy as I thought.
Big Mama, Sugar Mama.
And then
it's all the same.
All the same thing.
And then Cinnamon's written in.
Cinnamon? This one must be for Brandon.
I love the name Cinnamon. Okay. Stop making me laugh. So once a guy bought me a fur coat after only 3 weeks of dating. It didn't last long, but I still got the coat.
How long was he going to that?
Sounds like a cinnamon
How long
story.
was he going to that strip club then? That's all.
It sounds like
That's what I heard
like
there.
We're just brushing the surface with cinnamon.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Cinnamon, write in again. I'm dying to hear from you and your fur
She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer.
Thanks for watching Cinnamon. DBL is new every day. Cinnamon and my mom. I'll be right. We'll see you tomorrow.
cold.